on the line. He's a human development advocate, and he's helping us understand some of the stories and issues we've been explained today. Good morning again, and thank you for joining us, everyone. Our topic this morning, we are looking at how to, as we face struggles, crisis, and a lot of issues that were explored or talked about a bit during our newspaper review segments, we are started with the question of what can we do differently? How can we build a Nigeria of our dreams? If we are actors in it, yeah, but if we have the political will, what would it look like? What can we change? And how do we begin to change all of that? We are looking at the interactive topic. How can we build a Nigeria of our dream? And Mr. Madu is still on the line. Let's begin with the big question. What would the Nigeria of your dream look like?
Thank you very much for having me again. Nigeria of my dream, I'm going to take, I just don't want to build that illusion, that kind of, I'm not going to say it's illusion, or I just don't want to use that word, but I'm going to say Nigeria of our dream is a country whereby things work. I can go to the tap, open up the tap and get a cup of water. I could go out there on the street, there's light all the time everywhere. I don't have to be worried about this. Security is not a problem because why? In every society there are bound to be crime. But crime being controlled minimally, that's one of the things that I know it's okay. But being able to afford, go to school, be able to learn, go and do things, acquire some kind of basic things that's in Nigeria of our dream whereby the kids don't have to worry so much. I remember those days when we were growing up, everybody had this dream of American dream. The American dream. What was the American dream? American dream was all about going to see all those high life and everything. You see the skyscrapers and the beautiful skylines and everything. That was what we all saw as the American dream, to go out there and to live that life. I want us to see that in Nigeria we can reciprocate those things, that people will have that culture and believe in creating that thing, that enabling environment in Nigeria whereby we can do things appropriately, do things right. Not jumping, if somebody offends you, take them, use the police on them. No.
Okay, so that's a lot like, I remember a lot of the initiatives that be rolled out by the government, all aimed at a way to not just build a dream, but build up a vision and let the people marry the vision of the government. We've had such innovations in the past, and all ongoing every now and then. But most times these values do not stick around for a long time. They become a buzzword as against achieving the idea of what it was. So if we are to throw in with what you said now, like values, what would be the guide? More so, how do we sustain that? Because one is to dream, two is being able to sustain that dream by bringing it to reality.
Okay, in my own way and my own thought, because it has different sectors and different areas that we have to collectively work together to bring that, building that dream. We, the citizens today, feel the government is lying to us. They've lied to us so many times. They've made empty promises. And today, if you talk about them, we don't really believe in them. But the only thing they could do is if the government could change their approach, change everything, be transparent to us, be open so that we can have let's have an atom, an iota of trust. We've lost trust in the government. So that's why you see a child today barely believes nothing. Going to talk about government. They always look at that. They look onto their fathers for their next thing, for their next meal, for their trust, that bit of trust they want. So today, now I'm going to look at if this government, or if we want to build the Nigeria of our dream, I'm going to say we should leave the political class alone, because to me, they have failed us. They have completely failed us. So the next thing we should go back to the basics. Where are we going back to? Going back to the kids today, trying to change their mindset, because we are failing them. That's why you see so many of jumping into all sorts of antisocial vices, going into all those vices, and that's one of the things that we are failing. So if the only way we can readdress those things to build that country of our dream that the world will want to. The world today, all over the world, Nigeria is top notch. Nigeria is number one. But we, the citizens in the country, don't really see it. How can we do it? First and foremost, let's go back again. Go back to our educational sector. Build a proper education. Because one of the things this is why I say we don't trust the politicians anymore. They made most of our government schools moribund and opened up their private businesses, gave up licenses to their friends and cronies to open up private universities where it became for the rich. And value, that's it. That's why they killed the public sector education, just for them to enrich themselves. You see, that's one. How many of us have skills? Those days where we had Omo Boy and the rest of them going out to learn a specific trade. Those things are moribund. Those things are dead now. It's just now that people are beginning to go back again to say, because they've been hit so hard that they can't even afford those things anymore. They can't even get no job anywhere. That's why everybody's business in Nigeria is POS or Kenapep. Come on, that's not being fair. So for us to build that Nigeria of our dream, let's go back again to the grassroots. Take those things back again. Let these children be educated, proper education, and teach them skills as long as we go to there. Now, when they begin to give them, as they come up in life, you begin to give them economic empowerment. After learning the skills, you give them those basic things they need, little grants or things. That's what China did. This is exactly the model China did to their community. And that's why today China is the top notch and top up in the world. Because that's how they build their own economy. Now, when people get sick, basic health care, it's not basic anymore. It's strictly for the rich. That's why you see strings of hospitals everywhere. Our physicians are all own a private clinic where they run their own private business. They want you to come and do it. So if we can have a public sector system whereby if I get sick, if my mother gets sick, or whoever gets sick, they can go in there and they can get being treated for minimal illnesses and get those medications, because government is going to subsidize those ones for them. And that's what we're talking about. We'll leave the healthcare. What about the infrastructure? I can see so many places that there's no roads, no rail. When we want to build rail, we begin to politicize our rail. And when they make 1 kilometer of rail, they put in a big signboard and begin to do charades of commissioning. They are commissioning a project. What project are you commissioning?
How do we begin to change all of it? What can we do differently? In this case, the government, the people, the thought leaders, how do we begin, and what will be everyone's roles and responsibilities in achieving that?
The best for me, one of the things that I have true, because I run a non-profit organization in Nigeria, which is Down Global Support Foundation. What we thought and felt would be best to do is go back to the basics, go back to the kids. Reach out to begin to talk to those guys, sensitize those kids, conscientize them, teach them the right thing, right steps to follow. And that's why we say, hey, we'll always come together, celebrate ourselves, begin to impact those knowledge in them from a kindergarten stage. Like I said, this non-profit that I ran now, what we tend to do is that we have asked these kids to come up with a story, to come and tell the story, showcase their talent, come and tell us those stories with the Actors Guild. Come and tell us those stories about the Nigeria of your dream. So that when you're telling a story about Nigeria of your dream, you're going to follow up on it by conscientizing the child on the values that everyone should have. Not this get-rich syndrome that our politicians are living right now, amassing so much wealth for their great-grandchildren. That is absolutely not necessary. So we go back to the basics. Go back to the kids and begin to educate our people, conscientize our people, begin to encourage it, educate our people, give them that civic education is the most important thing. Or just begin to have more town hall meetings and begin to start from the local communities, from your villages, their hamlets, and start to come back again. We've lost governance, we've lost everything because everyone was running to the top. Abuja, Enugu, Port Harcourt, we are going to the cities. But to forget that everything starts from the village. That child.
And that's also like links to the idea of education from the grassroots. That's
exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly the biggest thing that I'm advocating for. Let's take our education back home. Let's go from the hamlet, from the villages, because the downtrodden, those kids in the village, they are the ones that will. Okay, now what's happening in the north? It's so sad. Our brothers and sisters were deprived of education. They were made to follow their leaders. Who were leaders were just busy making and throwing crumbs at them. Today they have rebelled. They have to rebel and turn down to become something else. That with a little change they give to their entice and begin to do the whole thing, begin to fight against the state. I spoke about this in several meetings that I've done. I said no.
What would be the role of parents in this case? I'm asking the role of parents because a lot of conversations people have now is centered around, a lot of persons turned out good or have turned in the past because they had different parental skills. And now there are too many, quote-unquote, young millennial Gen Z parents, and that somehow rubs off on the whole setup and get right from the family and get-go.
Okay, on the Gen Z parents like you will call them or we want to call them, they are actually not the problem because they are not informed. They are deformed. Now back in I could tell you from my own growing up back in my days, I'm in my 50s right now, and I could tell you things that happened about 30 in my 30s. I started cooking at the age of 10 or 15. I was taken to the kitchen, I was taught some of those things. But these kids, these current kids now don't even do all that. The parents play a very active role, but the frustration of the country is not really helping the parents. I was talking to a mom who's a lecturer in the university, one of the universities. She was in tears because her take-home salary could not even take her home anymore. She had a child in the school, in the university as well, that she couldn't even afford to pay the child's school fees. Now, or even the other ones, the younger siblings, she couldn't even attend to them because she's so broke. She comes back home, even going to work every day, coming back so broke. Isn't that disheartening? Would you blame the parents? Even the man of wisdom. Okay, in my own community where I come from, farmers go to the farm to go farm, and what happens? The herders come in and eat up their crop and even kill them, maim them. It's not nice. There are things that I see sometimes. I weep. That's why we see the society is failing. Even the new moms and the new dads cannot even face all the responsibility of being a dad because they don't even have the parents who are going to tutor them.
Does it mean there's nothing that can be done or that could be people start to do? Because the idea is to find an alternative background. The issues are there that we know, that we've explored, that we're aware of. how do we get to the point where every child in every community, every parent, young, old, everyone begins to dream that there's a possibility I could, build a home of my own, like a Nigeria of my dream. Mindsets to reality. How do we move that conversation towards that direction?
Now, for me, I'm going to talk about what we intend to do or what we're doing to help raise that awareness and create that information. It's like I said earlier, it's conscientization, conscientizing the people and informing them, allowing these kids to participate in the current things of today. That's why the non-profit that I run, Down Global Sport, decided to call me today. We're celebrating the kids and bringing them to come and showcase the talent. And from there, we're going to follow up on them, teaching them the right values that everybody has to possess and doing those things, the needful. And that's how it's going to build up. Because I know that the older ones are not really interested in anymore because they've tasted one or two things. But we're going to go back to use that strategy of catch them young, when they are young and innocent. Tell them the things they want to hear. Tell them the things that they should do. Bringing these kids together, collectively come out together to celebrate themselves in those places are one of the things that they don't even have the opportunity because some parents don't even have the time. But when they do this now, they will find themselves more important, and there's even more competition amongst themselves. If you came second in an event, you want to come first tomorrow because you saw the prize the first person gets. You want to do better than what the other person did. Not why you didn't do well, but you want to do better than the other person because there's a challenge. There's a reward for excellence. So let's take this thing back again. Catch them young. Begin to talk to these kids, not just talking to them. Kids don't just believe in talking. You show them something. Let them be part of the event. That's why we brought them. We're bringing them together collectively to sit down in that event and come, act that movie. Tell us how you want to build your Nigeria of your dream. What do you want it to look like? And how we're going to do it. Then from there, we'll now go back again. The parents and the teachers will now begin to indoctrinate those things into those good values into them. And that's part of where we're going to start from. In my generation, we have failed. And we are failing. That's why one person would go become a governor and still $180 billion and pay. What the heck are you doing with it?
All right. Thanks so much, Mr. Madu, for explaining this and bringing your insights on the topic of Nigeria, of building Nigeria of our dreams. It's a pleasure talking to you, and
the pleasure is all mine.
For parents, there's a lot that still needs to be done. Apart from the idea of conversation, it's something that has to become everyday lifestyle. That way, people, humans, young, old, everyone gets to be part and live it as it's where. It's a lifestyle. It shouldn't be a thing that happens or a conversation that comes up once in a while. Really.
I recommend.
Thank you so much for the great thoughts.
All right, just quickly, I just recommend that we should put in more. We should keep throwing more lights on this, on how to build the Nigeria of our dream. How can we build our home of our dream? Let's take it to domesticate it. It's not just Nigeria of our dream. Let's domesticate it with the parents. How can we build a home of our own? Let's take it down to the elementary level with them, and then we'll talk more about it. Create more awareness on this topic. Then we can begin to see that it will yield more profit. It will yield more good and bad. And that's my vibe. My talk to the parents is please begin to instinct the right values in your child. Those children are innocent. Teach them the right way to follow, and they will definitely go that path.
Thank you for coming on, and thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure being on your show today. Wow. It's been a very interesting time for me being able to speak to this topic because I'm very passionate about it, and I try to bring out the best in me. Nigeria, it's a great country. It could be greater than what it is. I believe if we work together collectively, do the things that we're supposed to do, we can create a better value for ourselves. Starting from the primary school teacher, starting from your local headmaster, secondary school teacher, even the security man at the gate, and the secretaries at the schools. We have to take those things, take those words, those informations back to them, start from there and climb up to the top. Let's not shy away from our responsibilities. This is how I believe we can strongly believe and working towards building the Nigeria of our dream, or building a country of our dream. And by so doing, let's go back again to begin to see how we can talk to our kids, talk to the kids of this generation, the younger ones, not the Gen Zs, the younger ones who are upcoming. Let's begin to conscientize them, teach them the right value, teach them the right path to follow, so that we can instill the right things in their brains and not deprive them of the good things of life. In as much as the country is bad, or it has all the shortfalls, it could be better. Let's work together as a team. I believe if we do, we can make Nigeria of our dream. And I hope to see you guys out. If you have not heard about the show coming up in Spa, Enugu Mall on the 14th at 10 a.m. I will be there. So you come and let's have a conversation. Let's talk more about this. Join me there as well too. I look forward to seeing you all. Come, let's celebrate the Youth season together. Let's talk about how we can build a future for the next generations, or what we can put our heads together so we can do more. Thank you very much once again. I really appreciate everyone for having stayed by me. It's been I'm speechless, but I give God the glory for this wonderful opportunity to be able to communicate with you people all. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you for coming on, and thanks for speaking with us. All right, this is Coast Express and Coast FM 929 FM. We'll be talking with Mr. Madu, and our Homeland segment. We're exploring how to build Nigeria of our dreams. We'll go for a quick break. While we return, we will bid you farewell. Thanks everyone for joining on the show.